So far away, Lucas, who's your favourite character in Gears of War?
Oh, it's gotta be, good old Anthony Carmine.
Fuck yeah, the Carmine family, but we're not talking about them. We're talking about Marcus. Yeah. So far away, Lucas, would you like to explain for the lovely audience at home, as you often do, what the topic of today's Wiki Weekends is about?
Yes, we are going to be discussing Gears of War's Marcus Fenix.
We are, and we'll be referring specifically to the Gears of War Wiki, and we'll start, as we often do, at the beginning, and begin with some biographical information about Mr. Marcus Fenix. We'll start with, he doesn't even start with his fucking name, he just starts with where he lives, which is Ephyra in Tyrus. Because did you know Gears of War's not even set on fucking Earth?
Wait, what?
No, it's not set on Earth, fuck you.
But what?
Yeah, I don't even have time to get into how complicated Gears of War lore is, because we're going to do that right now. So then we have date of birth 22 BE, so I believe that's before emergence. Before
yes,
emergence
it is,
in the Gears of War universe. And then we have physical description and appearance. Fucking hell, it's bad me. Like Marcus Fenix, this might be pretty wide. So rank, sergeant, species, human, gender, male, and then we have height here, and I think this must be a lie. It says 6'1". I thought all members of the COG were 7 feet tall and shaped like fridges. I do not believe that he's only 6'1", because everyone in that game is a fucking giant.
They are, and maybe it's just that they're all more wide than tall.
Yeah, like, Gears of War is just the game for absolute units, man. Like, they're all massive, except for like Carmine and Baird. They're the only two who are normal sized. Anyway.
No, Karl.
What?
They look normal sized in comparison.
That's fair enough, yeah. They're still probably pretty beef. And then we have hair colour, black in Gears of 1 to 3, grey in 4 to 5. Oddly enough, fighting endless hordes of locusts does tend to stress a guy out. Eye colour, blue, and then weapons is just a list of every weapon in every Gears of War game.
Yeah, so he just picks up whatever the fuck he wants.
He can use whatever he wants, but amongst those include my favourite, the bolt-op pistol.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the pistol where it just completely obliterates anything it hits.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about you though, Lucas, but I would always go for toe shots with that.
Well, what I love doing is just watching like heads pop when you snipe people across a map.
And then you get every character in the game has a unique voice line for that. My favourite being, because I played through every single Gears of War game as player 2, so I was Dom. And when Dom gets a perfect headshot and goes, "Sup, bitches?" And it's like, oh, it's so good! It's so fucking, I love that line. And they kept it all the way through every Gears of War. Every Gears, and they got the guy to re-record the line every time. So there's multiple variations, just, "Sup, bitches?" It's like, fuck yeah, Dom. Like, you just shot a guy's head off.
I got really sad playing Gears of War because, I played the first one before I had a 360 at my friend's house. So, yes, I was player 2. I got to be Dom. And then I got my own Gears, my own Xbox, and I got Gears of War 2. And was like, I don't like playing as Marcus. I want to be Dom again. I want to play as
Dom. Dom's so much cooler. And what was your favourite character to play as in multiplayer? Oh,
Anthony Carmine.
All the Carmines. And mine was also the Carmines because they had the best voice lines. Better than Dominic's, because "Sup Bitches" is legendary, but I will never forget when I was playing as Carmine in Gears of War 2 multiplayer, and an opponent set me on fire as I grabbed someone for a human shield. So Carmine is on fire, so the voice line is him screaming, but then that got cut out by him grabbing the opponent going, "You're mine now, bitch!" So all I saw on my screen is Carmine on fire, screaming, grabbing someone by the throat, and then shotgunning someone's head off. I'm like, I will forever be a Carmine mark for that moment.
Oh, Karl, which Carmine though?
All of them. They're all best. And they're all voiced by the same guy.
They are, and I just love, Anthony Carmine is amazing because it just, my gun got jammed and his head goes. Yeah. But then Benjamin Carmine, where it's just like, oh yeah, look at this coward.
Yeah, I love as well, my friend, when we play through Gears of War 2 together, we shot, because he dies inside that giant worm, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And they know that you're expecting Carmine to die because they keep teasing him dying.
Yeah.
And the fun fact that I'm presuming everyone in the comments is screaming about is that Carmine is the exact same shade of red that Star Trek red shirts had.
Oh, really?
And that's why he's called Carmine, because he dies first like a red shirt in Star Trek. Oh, it's so fucking good. Then we have chronological and political information. What? Yeah, that's right. It's political information about Marcus Fenix, the eras, and the thing I love about Gears of War is, if people don't know, this game has some really deep lore and it's really interesting. And I contend it has some of the best world building of any video game. I contend Gears of War has better world building than Star Wars.
It's really bizarre because, like, you look at that game and go, yeah, meaty men with meaty guns, cool.
But like, as we'll no doubt get to in a bit, there's like it has some really amazing touches of world building. We have like eras here: the Pendulum Wars, the Locust War, the Lambent Pandemic, Outsider Movement, and the Swarm War. And then we'll move into a quote, as we often do. And here's a quote about Marcus Fenix by Private Jace Stratton. There were a few times I thought I was a goner, and I would have been if it wasn't for Marcus Fenix. While I was nearly getting my head blown off, doing my best just to survive, Marcus was handling shit like no one's business. Of course, we all heard the stories about him, the Pendulum Wars, Aspho Fields, Tim Gad, a living legend right there in the flesh. But I tell you seriously, the stories don't do him justice. The guy is unreal.
Holy shit.
And I'll be honest, when I'm playing as Marcus Fenix, he's a fucking unit in that battlefield.
Yeah.
I'm quick scoping locusts like nobody's fucking business.
Oh, do you not crab walk everywhere?
No, I walk like a man. I walk into combat. I don't give a fuck. And like, there's just so many little moments in Gears of War that I just fondly remember. Like the first time you encounter the Theron guards.
Oh, yeah.
And they're so scary. And like, oh, what was that? Oh, it was probably just the wind. When's the last time you heard the wind say hostiles? And it's like the Theron guards, and they're like, hostiles. Anyway, so Sergeant Marcus Fenix is a former Gear soldier in the coalition of ordered government army. So the COG. A legendary war hero, Marcus served with distinction in the Pendulum Wars, which earned him the Embry Star, the COG's highest military awards. Marcus bravely fought against the Locusts for 10 years, until the Battle of Ephyra, when he abandoned his post to rescue his father. I love as well that his dad's a professor. And it says here, but you could not reach him in time. With his father presumed dead, Marcus was tried for dereliction of duty and sentenced to 40 years in prison. He was incarcerated for 4 years before being released by big dick legend Dominic Santiago, who then proceeded to headshot many Theron guards while saying, "Sup, bitches." And then it just continues and just tells you the story of all the games. And Lucas, I'm now wondering if, like me, you were a fan of Gears of War before it even came out, based purely on the strength of that advert.
Oh, Mad World.
Yeah, and if people don't know what we're talking about, like, there is a legendary advert for the first Gears of War game that, like, sells it as this, like, emotional, like, story about, like, fighting for survival, and it's Marcus Fenix, like, combat rolling through a brick wall and firing a machine gun at a corpse or a Brumac, while Mad World plays in the background. And it's so out of touch with what the actual game is.
But like, then it's so weird because like by the end of Gears of War 3, it's almost done a loop back on itself where it's like, oh shit, this like shouty game with big ass guns. I actually give a shit about the characters and I'm emotionally invested. Yeah, and that trailer is it's so top tier because of how just like badly it juxtaposes next to the gameplay of chainsawing locusts in half while screaming at them. Like, just the coal train coming in like, woo, yeah, just woo, woo. And like, every time he dives, he says the word woo, and then he shotguns someone in half. But then you got Mad World in the background. But I will give Gears of War infinite props for leaning into that. And then in Gears of War 3, when spoilers, Dom dies, they have the balls to play Mad World as he does it. And I'm like, that moment came up, and me and my friend, our jaw hit the floor, and we were howling with laughter that they even had just the audacity to play Mad World as this giant meat man crashes an explosive truck into an army full of locusts. Oh god. It's so good. It's so good, and I would attribute that to almost similar levels of stealing a song as when Johnny Cash played Hurt. Of man, the only version of Mad World people seem to know nowadays is the version they used in Gears of War. Pretty much, yeah. I think it's the Gary Jules version, not the Tears for Fears version. Mm-hmm. And the famous story about Johnny Cash's version of Hurt is, I forget who sung the original, it doesn't really matter. It's when they asked him about...
Okay, well, when they asked 9 Inch, that's Trent Reznor, isn't it?
I think so, yes.
When they asked Trent Reznor, what do you think of Johnny Cash's rendition of your song? He went, well, it's not my song anymore, it's his. He sings it better. And I'm just like, and the only ad I'll ever say, like, maybe tops the stupid Mad World one, is that diorama one for Halo 3, where it's Master Chief being held up by the brute, and then the plasma grenade turns on, and his eyes, it's like, oh, that's so cool! Personality and traits for Marcus Fenix, and you know that Gears of War is one of those games that has like 15 fucking novels behind the scenes, because this section goes on for about 1,000 words. So, a totally professional soldier, Marcus Fenix is generally gruff and aggressive. He is a natural leader, being promoted to corporal not long after he joined the army. However, there have been several times when Marcus has put friends and family before the call of duty. He famously deserted his post to try and save his father, as well as going with Dom to look for Maria. Oh man, oh, that's so fucking rough.
That is one of the roughest fucking times. Like, Dom has the harshest time in Gears of War 2.
It's just when he hands in the bolt-top pistol.
The thing that's bigger than his wife's head.
It's so fucking brutal. Man, do I love just like the world building of Gears of War, and I think we've talked on like every platform but the actual channel about how much I adore the Hammer of fucking Dawn in Gears of War. Where people don't know, the Hammer of Dawn is the most OP shit ever in the Gears of War universe, and it is a super weapon where you fire a laser from the heavens that obliterates anything in your path. And in any other game, you would find yourself asking, well, why don't they just use this shit all the time? Like, why doesn't Master Chief always have a sniper rifle and a Spartan laser? That shit just ends every conflict. But in Gears of War, they explain that, oh, the Hammer of Dawn uses a satellite that was launched into orbit before the war, and there's only a couple left. And they're all running out and they keep falling from orbit. You can only use it when one of the ones we know is in orbit is overhead. And that's all they need to do to explain why you can't always use this amazing super weapon. And I fucking love it.
It's amazing because the fact that they went out of their way to go, look, this weapon is OP as shit. Like, we know that you're going to wonder why we can't use it on every fucking boss.
Yeah, how did this army lose if they have access to this? Like, oh, your enemy emerges from the ground out of holes and you have a weapon that can just obliterate glass a section of the earth within 3 seconds. How did you lose? And that's why I say Gears of War manages to overcome perhaps one of the biggest hurdles for shooting games, which is making a boss fight that actually feels fun. Because most shooting games, when it's a boss fight, it's either too easy because you can just headshot the enemy instantly, or it's frustrating because the enemy will just be invincible, or a bullet sponge. And Gears of War gets away with it by to say, okay, every Hammer of Dawn in existence, we've used the last of humanity's resources, put every single one above you at once. And you're just now you summon 40 Hammer of Dawns at once.
Oh, God.
It's so good! Oh!
But I will say, fuck the General Raum fight at the end of the first Gears of War with your fucking Krill.
It's so lame. I love as well that they knew how shit the Krill was, because they say in Gears of War 2, oh, Ram controlled the Krill, and we don't know why, but there's no Krill in Gears of War 2. They just say it all flew away, and they can't use it anymore, because they knew how bad it was.
They were just like, look, we all know it was a mistake. We got out of the game, just don't question it. Yeah,
they're all gone, they all flew away. Ram controlled the Krill, and he's dead, so you don't have to deal with it anymore. But, man, I just some of the lines in Gears of War are so good, and it reminds me a little bit, speaking of glassing a planet, where you have in Halo 3 when you fight the Flood and they glass half of New Mombasa or whatever the fuck it is, and you have Johnson yelling at the elites of the fuck are you doing? It's it is only due to the Council of the Arbiter that I did not glass your entire planet. And you have giving that line, the Shipmaster. Do you remember Shipmaster at all, Lucas?
No.
He is the Jet White, the Colgate White elite with half a mandible missing. Who fights with you in Halo 2 and he's completely invincible. Who has the energy sword and kills all the Flood. And he might have my favourite line in anything, where, they all emerge into orbit and it's Shipmaster, the brutes outnumber us 3-1. And he just looks and goes, then it is an even fight. It's God, no! Shipmaster! Why are you so fucking cool? He's just fucking, he's so fucking awesome. I love you, Shipmaster. He's great. He's really good in Halo Wars too. Anyway, so we have here, behind the scenes information about Marcus Fenix to close on. Marcus Fenix is voiced by, and do you know which one, Lucas? I'll give you a clue, because it's probably going to be
Bender. I know it's Bender.
It's the voice of Bender and Jake the dog, John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio, that's it.
The voice of Bender the dog is also... Bender the dog, Bender the robot and Jake the dog is also Marcus Fenix. And as a result, one of my friends who adores both Futurama and Adventure Time fucking loves Gears of War because he adores like the voice actor.
Yeah.
And we have here... Oh my God, Lucas. Oh my God, are you ready? Lucas, you're not ready for this one. Marcus Fenix was named Phoenix because Cliff Blazensky lost everything from his first failed marriage and was rising from his own ashes.
What?
That's so fucking harsh. Why would you put that in trivia? Oh, fun trivia about Marcus Fenix, the guy who created him, whose marriage fell apart.
Holy shit, man.
Oh God, Cliff Blazensky. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, he's doing all right now.
He's doing all right. He's a billionaire now, so it's all right, innit? But before the game's release, Marcus's game looked a lot thinner and closer to normal human proportions. The reasons for this change are unknown. I don't know.
I don't know, but I think as dumb as the fucking the fridges are the males in the Gears of War universe, it at least stands out and is memorable.
Everyone in Gears of War, they are Unreal Man. Like they are Unreal Engine Man to a fucking T, but at least they own it. And the Gears of War games, like they do get like branded as being like quite dull. But I can tell Gears of War 2 onwards, the art style's really good. And there's like a beauty to it. Like so there's some of the destroyed landscapes that you walk through. And there's obviously a lot of care and craft gone into creating the worlds that you walk through as you're chainsawing locusts in half. But I think like that first game...
The first one was very grey.
It was very great. It kind of like tarnished the entire series as a whole. Because when you think of Gears of War, you think of like just slate grey, huge big muscle men chainsawing things. And then you go play like Gears of War 5. It's like one of the best looking games like released in the last couple of years. It's fucking awesome. But there we have it. The game's designers said that they gave Marcus his scars as a way to give him a used look, a way of showing that he's seen combat and war before. So basically, just character design 101. The hero scar.
I think they do such a good job of establishing it straight away of, oh, well, what are you doing? Well, it's a prison break. Oh, right. And then he immediately gets in the helicopter and someone's like, wait, you're Marcus Fenix. I've fucking heard of you. I know what you've done. Yeah, they do. And I love that shot where you just see him just in shadow. And even before he puts his armor on, he's like 5 foot fucking wide. Yeah.
Like, he's terrifying before he puts the armor on, and I really like that. But everything else is just the fact that you can unlock all these skins in every Gears of War game. And we all know that the best skin you get is Zombie Dom.
Oh, God.
It's the best skin in any game. It's like you get to play Zombie Dom, and he even says, sup bitches. And you know what? Sup bitches.